Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of The Take. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on The Take. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. So let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get everything started. Let's get everything started with the big story. All right, on the big story this week, man, you wouldn't believe what's going down. We know that President Trump, we know that he has his approval ratings are going down due to the war in Iraq, Iran, and trying to join forces with Israel to help fight their war, which a lot of Americans are not happy about the commander in chief as well. So, what do we get to? This local news story in Pennsylvania that had this everyone talking about this.
If you could say something to President Trump and he was going to hear you right now, what would it be?
You're a worthless pile of
And you voted for him how many times?
3 times. That was my bad. Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Are you displeased with the war in Iran?
Yes, it's not our war. We should not be sending our soldiers over there to get harmed when it's not about us. It's about them. Like, why are we sticking our noses where we don't belong?
What do you think about the decision to strike Iran?
I think it was a great decision. I think somebody else should have done it a couple of years ago, the last 3 other presidents.
Are you willing to pay higher prices at the pump if that's the cost?
Yeah, I'm willing to pay a little more, yeah.
Why do you think gas prices going up?
War. That's all I know.
Are you pleased with us being in Iran?
Not really. No, there should be no war. What do you do?
What do you think about President Trump? How's he doing?
No comment.
Did you
Not
vote?
too good. I did vote for him.
Have you noticed gas prices going up lately?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Does that affect you at all?
Definitely. Absolutely. My husband, he drives diesel, so that's like $2 more.
What do you think about the U.S. decision to go into Iran?
I think we got to do what we got to do to keep this country safe. So, and if it means paying a little bit more in gas right now to keep everybody safe, then that's what we got to do.
All right, you heard from a lot of mixed reviews about the president's handling of the economy and on the war in Iran. I mean, that woman, she made it clear, seem like to the done. Like, let's
If
play
you
it
could say something
one
to
time,
President
please.
Trump and he was going to hear you right now, what would it be?
You're a worthless pile of
And you voted for him how many times?
3 times. That was my bad. Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Are you displeased with the war in Iran?
Yes, it's not our war. We should not be sending our soldiers over there to.
All right, you heard from that lady, that angry, this pleasant lady about the president. She voted for him 3 times, and she said she admitted. She said the president wasn't nothing more than what he claimed to be. Kamala was trying to tell everybody, but some people didn't want to listen. But hey, we'll have more of the president's stuff a little bit later on in the political rundown, especially with his director of national intelligence, Chelsea Gallagher, being grilled. I don't think she's gonna be out of she's gonna be out of a job pretty soon. I can tell you that. Let's go to talk shows. Talk shows. All right, on talk shows. Enough of him, because he ain't doing nothing. He just being, who. You know
For
what
some
I'm saying
reason,
with this.
With this, they keep taking it. Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it.
All right, we won't take it. All right, we're gonna take this. Will Packard appeared on the Jennifer Hudson show. Will Packard, showing that he's an HBCU alum and had a lot to say about this inspirational message. Let's take a look.
We believe that we can accomplish what we see. And so this is an event put on by Robert Smith and his incredible foundation. And when you have somebody like that, of that status and that level, saying HBCUs are important, it forces everybody else to recognize the fact that we deserve to be on the biggest stages.
Yes.
We deserve to be seen as any other institutions out there, because we are putting out literally the best and the brightest.
It's so necessary.
It is very necessary. But if we don't do it and support our own, and also have folks like Robert Smith, like Will Packer, that come out and say, guys, this is important, right? We're not looking for charity. We're looking for you to come in and support the absolute best people, the best and brightest in their field. More doctors, more engineers, more pharmacists are produced at HBCUs than anywhere else. When you're talking about black collegiate graduates, HBCUs are the #1 producers. It's just a fact.
You better
it's
speak.
It's a fact, Jennifer.
Greatness.
I believe it.
All right, Jennifer Hudson sitting down with my Will Packer, who's a proud HBCU alum, just as I am a proud HBCU alum. Well, that wasn't enough. Jennifer Hudson also sat down with Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son. This is what he had to say.
There I am, naked again. You know, my mom's gonna see this. I got like several DMs in one day that were basically summating to, Lisa's trying to get into contact with you. Like, I'm a huge fan of Lisa, so it could have been clickbait. I was like, yeah, whatever she needs. Does she need my social security number? Like, whatever. And then eventually my reps called and they were like, no, it's legit. I hope you didn't actually send your social security number out. She wants you to be the guy, the video vixen. I couldn't have said yes fast enough. And then it was told to me that I hadn't heard the song, but it's the song with Lisa and Tyla, and I love her, and it was awesome.
All right, that was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son, talking about being the music video as the guy. Also, too, this guy from him also made this make an announcement about death in Texas.
Just know in life, 3 things are certain: death, taxes, and you always gonna be slaying. So I need you to lock in.
Yes!
Don't let them tell you you are not enough.
Yes!
That's why right now it's called the present, because it's a gift. You know what I'm saying? So lock in before I tweak out.
Meant to say crash out, but I get the memo. I get the gist. Crash out. So hey, go from there. Speaking of that, on talk shows on Tamron Hall show. Tamron Hall welcome Billy I got his name, Billy Porter. And here's what Billy Porter had to say being on Tamron Hall. Let's take a look on that.
You are in the biggest franchise in the world, the Hunger Games. You were just finished.
Get ready.
Yeah. You just finished taping.
Yes, and filming. And let me just say, big ups. Big ups, do we still say that? Yeah. Showing my age. Big ups to producer Nina Jacobson, who flipped everything around for me to be able to come to that set. 2.5 weeks after I got out of the hospital, they gave me a cane, they gave me an assistant. She said, you come here just as you are, we got you. That doesn't happen.
All right, Billy Porter is going to be part of the upcoming Hunger Games movie. So we'll see what Billy Porter's seen. Probably, I think he said some more. Let's take a look.
Very open. You went through a divorce after many years of marriage.
Yes.
No one gets married with a plan to divorce.
Nope.
So that was a challenge of its own.
Yeah, still is.
Still is.
Yeah.
What made you open to this idea of bringing someone into your warm heart?
He showed up, and we both were ready. And there was a safety. There is a safety that I feel with him, and he feels with me, that I realize was the thing that was missing for me in the other relationships. I didn't know what it was. I didn't understand it. We learn, we grow, we expand, and I'm grateful for all of the relationships that I've been in. People come into your life for a reason, a season, and or a lifetime.
Yeah.
I hope this one is for a lifetime. I pray this one is for a lifetime.
All right, Billy Porter. Somebody found a new love after getting a divorce. So I guess Billy Porter's in love again, I guess. All right. Move on to celebrity news. In celebrity news, Demi Lovato visit the 4th hour Today Show of Jenna and Shane and Chanel. Let's hear what Demi Lovato had to say.
I have found so much joy from cooking and being in the kitchen, and that wasn't always the case. I used to be very intimidated by food because I'm in recovery from an eating disorder, and at one point it was very difficult for me to even step foot inside a grocery store. But it would break me down to tears. And now, if you were to have told me then that I would have a cookbook many years later, I would say, no way. It's reflective of how much I've healed, and connecting with food is so important. And I wanted to bring that same freedom with food and joy in the kitchen to my readers who might be looking for their next step in recovery from disordered eating, or for people who are just intimidated by cooking and want to start for the first time.
That's really powerful. Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
really glad you made that step. It's amazing.
Thank you. I have found so much joy from cooking and being in the kitchen, and that wasn't always the case.
All right, that was Demi Lovato talking about she had a new cookbook of cooking. So Demi Lovato's learning how to cook. She said even more. Let's take a little more of what she had to say.
He just got reunited with the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
What is that experience like? I mean, we could feel it sitting here, but people love both of you guys so much, the energy. How does it feel for you when you're up there?
It was so nostalgic and so much fun. I got emotional when I was waiting to go on because they played the intro to Gotta Find You, which is Joe's song from Camp Rock. And it was just so, like I said, nostalgic and brought back so many great memories. So I was a little emotional, but it turned out great, and I had so much fun.
All right, Demi Lovato. All right, that was Demi Lovato reunited with Joe Jonas about that Disney Channel movie Camp Rock a couple of years ago. So Demi Lovato, what's going on with that? All right, and then too, we get to this right here. Tiana Taylor, she was at the Academy Awards trying to be for her movie, I think with Leonardo DiCaprio and stuff. So Tiana Taylor was out doing this.
You're a man putting your hands on a female.
Go backstage. Put him a little bit.
Because he's putting his hands on a female. What are you doing? He literally shoved me. He put it in her. He was damn near shoving her. He just said us to the stage. Shove us to what? Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. But you shoved me. That's a different story. You can say no and break. Shove me. That's a different story. Do not touch me. Do not shove me.
All right, Tiana Taylor saying that she got shoved at the Academy Awards and stuff by a security guard. That's what they say. Keep your hands to yourself, people. You know, some of these stars, like we talked about last week with Rihanna and then stalking, a lot of people are going unhinged and unbalanced because they get so close to proximity to these stars. Leave these stars alone. Let these stars live their lives, and you live your life. But I think people getting too out of hand, and Tiana gonna have to have some tight security going forward. I can tell you that right now. All right, we're gonna do this right here on the political rundown. On the political rundown this week, Trump's director of national security, Chelsea Gallagher, was on Capitol Hill getting testimony about her intelligence and what she knew about Iran, and seeing that if there was Iran a threat. Even Georgia Senator Jon Ossoff grilled her and grilled her what he's supposed to. Let's hear that intense confrontation right here, right now.
About your presence in Fulton County on January 28th of this year. You were present at the FBI's raid on the Fulton County Elections Office on January 28th, correct?
I was present for part of the FBI exercising a warrant approved by a municipal judge.
Yes, and the FBI was there executing that warrant to seize ballots and materials associated with the 2020 election, correct?
Yes.
And are you aware that members of this committee have already opened inquiries into your election-related activities?
Yes.
And are you aware that your general counsel and deputy general counsel have already provided testimony to this committee regarding those activities?
Yes.
On February 2nd, you sent a letter to Senator Warner regarding your presence at the raid. Was that letter accurate?
I don't recall the exact date, but if I sent a letter that had my signature, it was accurate.
You stated in the letter that your presence at the raid was, quote, requested by the president, correct?
Yes.
When did the president request your presence at the raid?
The day of the raid, the warrant execution commencing.
The day of the raid?
Yes.
He called you on the phone?
I'm not going to disclose how the message was delivered, but it was a request from the president and his administration to go and help oversee this warrant being executed, along with the deputy director of the FBI.
Is it your role to oversee?
The FBI agents who were conducting
Is it
this
your
warrant.
role to oversee the execution of criminal warrants?
It is my role, based on statute that Congress has passed, to have oversight over election security, to include counterintelligence.
But you said you oversaw the raid, correct? You just testified you oversaw the raid?
Portions of it.
Okay. Did you handle any ballots or election-related materials?
No.
You were inside an FBI evidence truck, correct? You were photographed inside an FBI evidence truck.
It was an empty truck, yes.
The president stated, quote, you looked at votes that wanted to be checked out.
The
Is that
senator's
accurate?
time is expired.
Did you look at votes as the president
Senator
stated?
Ossoff, your time has expired.
You respond
You
for
can
the
have her.
record?
No, she cannot respond because.
No, for the record. Will the director please respond for the record to that question is my
I'm happy
question.
to respond to questions for the record.
Thank you, Director Gabbard.
Thank you.
All right. We thought we had that folk on that one with Jon Ossoff grilled her, but it was kind of a little close. But Ossoff grilled her, and he grilled her about her involvement in Iran, and she kept on trying to insist. She refused to answer the question. She knows what was going on and stuff. Gabbard was a former Democrat, now turned Republican, so there's a lot going on with some shady deals and some shady business and stuff. Even this man right here has shady deals right here. Yep, the president had some shady deals. All right, he was trying to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if he's Irish or not, but who knows? But let's get some remarks from the president.
But it's really wonderful being with you. We have a lot of things happening. I spent my whole day with the Irish. And I should have been spending it with the Iranians, but that's not, in a different sense. We're doing very well, I will say. We're knocking them for a loop. They can't have a nuclear weapon, and they now understand that very strongly. But we have a great country, and we have an unbelievable military. We have the most powerful military in the world, and people see that. And I rebuilt it in my first term, and I didn't know I'd have to use it so much in my second term. But these the men and women of our military. I pay them.
All right, enough of what he was talking about. All right, y'all. Gonna leave you here on the take with
For some reason, with this, they keep taking it. Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe.
All right, that's gonna do it for the take. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next week for another edition of the take.